A brutal display of power tennis from Elena Ostapenko. She was well down in that second set, but she roared back.
She can't defeat Clay, they said. Against Grabber, she disproved them. Music, and on the red soil of Lynn tonight against a previous Grand Slam champion. After an hour and 42 minutes of fighting, she was only 6 points away from extending her rule. Not 6 games, not 6 sets, but 6 points. In 2 tough sets on European clay, Alexandra Aya and Jelena Ostapenko were separated by 6 individual points. You didn't watch the game if you believe that this defeat illustrates a player who doesn't belong on this field. A scoreline is read by you. And when the truth is contained in the numbers, a scoreline is a lie. Put an end to everything. Increase the volume. The tennis establishment does not want this video to go viral, so put the phone in airplane mode. The ultimate score of 4,657 is what they want you to see. They want you to move on, file it under Ella cannot play on clay, and scroll past it. They want the story to remain straightforward and uncomplicated. A Grand Slam champion defeats a hardcourt player on clay. The case is closed. There's nothing to see. However, I'm going to access the case file and reveal to you what really transpired on Lynn's court central tonight. Point by point, stat by stat. Because this match is not a defeat when seen through the prism of tactical analysis. You discover a proclamation of war. 74 to 68 points. The total number of points won is that. A 20-year-old Filipino competing in her second competitive clay match of the season won just 6 more points than Ostapenko, the 4th seed and 2017 French Open champion, who has spent her whole career intimidating opponents on clay with a forehand capable of shattering tectonic plates. 6 points is not a margin of domination in a sport where 1 missed return, 1 netted forehand, or 1 double fault at the wrong time may swing an entire set. It's a survival margin. This match was not dominated by Ostapenko. She made it through it. The stat sheet reveals a narrative that the final score frantically attempts to conceal, so allow me to take you through it. Percent of the first serve. 88% of Alexandra Eala's initial serves were in the box. In her second clay court match of the season, she scored 88. On any surface, that number is elite by any measure. To put things in perspective, Opino, a previous French Open winner with almost 500 matches under her belt, made 83% of her first serves. When it came to first serve accuracy, Eala beat Ostapenko by 5 percentage points. On the Grand Slam champion's finest surface, the 20-year-old Filipino girl, who they claimed couldn't play on clay, was making her first serve with better accuracy than a Grand Slam champion. Give that some thought. However, this is where the most agonizing manifestation of the harsh reality of clay court tennis occurred. Music, 52% of Eala's first serve points were won. 54% went to Ostapenko. They were almost the same on the first serve. A coin falling on its edge, a rounding error, 2 percentage points. When the initial serve landed, neither player was in control of the other. The conflict was trench warfare. From opposing bunkers, 2 troops were firing at one another. Neither gained more than a centimeter of ground. And that gives you important information regarding Aya's performance tonight. Music, she wasn't outclassed. She didn't feel overburdened. She was matching her shot for shot on first serve points and competing head-to-head on clay with a previous Grand Slam champion. This is where the game was actually decided, so pay close attention because this is where the tactical lesson is found. Victory percent for the second serve. 67% of Ostapenko's second serve points were won. Eala did not win at all. Allow that number to burn into your mind. Ostapenko won the point each and every time I had to deliver a second serve after missing her first. The second serve always sits up on clay. The ball rises in the air. The returner has more time to prepare and launch an assault. Every second serve became an execution because to Ostapenko's forehand, which produces the kind of top spin that, music, causes the ball to kick above shoulder height. Eala had no time to recuperate, no room to organize a rally, and no breath to breathe as she stood 3 feet inside the baseline, read the delivery, and violently discharged return after return. The establishment will never tell you this, though. This is not a weakness in Eala's personality. This is not a weakness in her way of thinking. This is a tactical change that can be made during the music next week on the Mallorca practice court. It has to do with spin rate. It's a positioning problem. It is the distinction between a second serve that glides into the Ostenko forehand zone and a second serve that kicks wide to the backhand. The world's greatest facility for resolving this issue is the Rafael Nadal Academy. On hard clay, the coaches who trained the best clay court player in history know exactly how to create a second serve that neutralizes power returners. There isn't a crisis here. It's a lesson. Ella, being the game-savvy student that she is, will take this lesson to heart and return to the second, music, serve tonight sharper, heavier, and more merciless. Let me now discuss the breakpoint fight, which took place on the chessboard where the war was waged and lost by the slimmest of margins. 9 breakpoint chances were gained by Ostapenko. 6 of them were converted by her. Conversion rate of 67%. It's a clinical piece of music. That is the effectiveness of a Grand Slam champion who has experienced these situations hundreds of times. When the breakpoint comes, she is aware of where to hit the return. She is skilled at precisely increasing the level of hostility. After years of fighting at the top level on the surface where she earned her greatest title, she developed muscle memory. Ella received 9 breakpoint opportunities as well. She made 44% conversions. Additionally, you already see it if you are doing the arithmetic. Ella could have flipped this entire match with just 2 converted breakpoints. 2 points, 2 instances where the rally lasted 1 stroke too short, the forehand nicked the tape rather than clearing it, and the ball fell on the wrong side of the line. There are 2 points. And here we are, discussing Aya's first ever clay court victory over a previous French Open champion. Tonight, the line between glory and heartache was as thin as a knife. Check out the games that were won 13-9. Ostapenko went on to win 4 more games. Additionally, the number of consecutive games reveals the precise manner in which the injury occurred. At one time, Ostapenko won 6 straight games. 6. That is a crushing run that contains the momentum of a set and a half. Ostapenko wins avalanches rather than points when she gets heated, when her forehand begins to paint lines and her backhand begins to whistle past your ear. By the time you glance up, the scoreboard has entirely altered because she drowns you under a wave of winners that come in so quickly and with such weight. She also found that gear for one crucial stretch tonight. And that was plenty to establish an advantage that ISA struggled to overcome for the remainder of the game. Ella did, however, retaliate. Take a look at her consecutive maximum games. For most players would have crumpled after being hit by that 6-game onslaught. The majority of players would have conceded the defeat, began to consider the next competition. Mentally exhausted, Ella retaliated with her own 4-aim run. She retaliated. She made adjustments. Ostapenko was not allowed to easily cross the final line by her. The score in the second set was 57. This indicates that at some point throughout that set, Ella had the Latvian serving at 55. The past winner of the French Open was uneasy. She wasn't at ease. She wasn't being carefree. With each game, she tightened her hold on her racket because she was aware that the player on the other side of the net would not go away, was not going to disappear. And see the 2 flaws. Ostapenko made 11 double faults. Music 11. For a 4th seed at a WTA 500 event, that is a ridiculous figure. It indicates that even the seasoned Grand Slam champion, Ostapenko, was feeling the strain of this match. Her arm was getting tighter. She was tossing aimlessly. Every second serve, when the ball soared far or clipped the net and fell into the incorrect box, showed how nervous she was. Ella received 11 complimentary points from her. 11 presents encased in stress and anxiety. Nevertheless, Ostapenko prevailed. This match was so extremely thin. Because the margins at this level are measured in millimeters and milliseconds, a player can make 11 double faults and still win. 5 double faults were committed by Ella. 5, which is less than half of Ostapenko's total. On serve, she was calmer. She had more self-control. Music, she had better self-control. But it's like carrying a shield to a gunfight if you're disciplined without a deadly second serve on clay. One bullet ultimately gets through even though you can stop the first few. And the bullet that made it through was the second serve win rate of 0%. Another intriguing tale is revealed by the receiving points. Music, Apenko received 35 points. Eala prevailed 34. A return difference of 1 point. When it came to attacking each other's serve from the return position, they were nearly equal. Just as Ostapenko was reading Eala's serve, Eala was reading Ostapenko's. On the return side, she was battling at the same level. The service side was the source of the entire gap. Eala received 34 service points. Ostapenko scored 39 points. Due in large part to that Music disastrous 0% second serve performance, the entire match was determined by a 5-point serve differential. For this reason, I won't consider this a failure. Since of this, the IA Army should not grieve tonight since Alexandra Eala's performance on Court Central in Linde should truly terrify every player still in the draw as well as every player who will play her on clay for the remainder of the season. On first serve points, she tied a past French Open champion. In terms of receiving points, she was equal to her. Against a player who has won a Grand Slam on the surface, she converted 4 of 9 break points. After a 6-game avalanche, she battled back. The second set was pushed to 5-7 by her. She was within 6 points of winning the game. And after playing on hard courts on 4 different continents for the first 3 months of the season, she accomplished all of this in her second clay match of 2026. Before the competition had began, the Linde Open Tournament director described her as extraordinary. Her effort tonight was unbelievable in its competitiveness, unbelievable in its tenacity, and unbelievable in how close it got to generating one of the clay season's trademark upsets. Additionally, the calendar never stops. The French Open, Madrid, and Stuttgart come next. 3 more top-tier clay competitions. There are 3 more chances to use what you learned tonight. Return to the Rafael Nadal Academy's Crimson Soil. Drill your second serve until the spin rate doubles, the placement becomes surgical, and you return as an Alexandra Eala-like figure, turning that 0% into 60%. The player who faced off against Oapino tonight and lost by 6 points will become the one who defeats Ostapenko on clay, followed by the player who comes after her, and so on, when the second serve turns into a weapon rather than a weakness. ISA now has 2 victories and 1 defeat against Ostapenko in their head-to-head matchup. ISA won both of her games on different fields. The clay chapter has been claimed by Ostapenko. However, the book is not yet complete. The rivalry is developing, and the next time they square off on red dirt, Ostapenko will be aware that the Filipino girl who lost the second serve in Linde has been spending every day at the academy where the greatest clay court player in history built his empire, correcting the one flaw that cost her this match. Let me tell you what this loss really means in the bigger picture of Eala's 2026 season. She came into the clay swing with a career record of 14-21 on the surface. She won her first clay match of the season against Grabber in straight sets. She then took a set off a Grand Slam champion and came within 6 points of winning. Her clay record now sits at 15-22. The gap is closing. The curve is bending. The player who lost 6 matches on clay in 2024 and went winless in her 3 clay tournaments in 2023 just competed at a level that made a former French Open champion commit 11 double faults and scramble for every game. That is progress. That is evolution. That is the trajectory of a player who is not approaching clay as a weakness to endure but as a surface to conquer. So here is your mission, Eala Army. And this one is more important than any victory celebration could ever be because this is where real fan bases are separated from casual followers. Casual followers celebrate wins and disappear after losses. The Eala Army does not disappear. The Eala Army doubles down. Share this video. Not because it is easy, because it is necessary. Show the world that 115 million Filipinos, music, do not abandon their warrior when the scoreboard does not go her way. Flood the comment section with your analysis. Tell me what you saw in Eala's movement tonight. Tell me how her top spin compared to the Grabber match. Tell me what second serve adjustments you think the Academy should prioritize. Tell me how she should approach Stuttgart. Tell me how she should attack Madrid. I want tactical breakdowns, not tears. I want analysis, not excuses. Because Alexandra Eala does not make excuses. She makes adjustments. And the next time she walks onto red clay, the establishment will realize that what happened in Linz against Ostapenko was not the end of the clay court story. It was the opening chapter for 6,576 points, 10% statistic that can be fixed on the practice court in Mallorca, and a 20-year-old warrior who matched a Grand Slam champion in every category except one and still nearly won. They said she can't win on clay. She beat Grabber in straight sets. They said she can't compete with Grand Slam champions on clay. She came within 6 points of proving them wrong again. The narrative is cracking. The wall is crumbling. And Stuttgart is in 5.